Hey, Shalom Masha. I want to start off source by giving no praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Hashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and honesty, brothers doing the work in truth, what sincerity. This one is inspired, or just general life really. It's you're going through whatever you're going through, life stressing you out, whatever, or but the question you're gonna ask, that I was meditating on is, what have you asked? Have you asked the Lord to make your situation more bearable? Right? For Scripture says, the Lord will not give you anything you cannot bear. Right? If a certain situation is getting in the way of you, doing what you got to do, like this work, right? You pray if you pray to the Lord, hey Lord, Baruch can you ease the situation up for me, so that I've got more time to do videos and study more, right? Or have you might be, how would you call it? Hey, you might just have be slothful, right? Have you prayed to the Lord to remove that sloth demon from you, right? I test that one because I've been struggling with that demon in particular myself recently. You pray to the Lord, hey Lord, but Kasha, hey, this sloth demon, man, is it's hindering my abilities, man. It's hindering my, my drive to do anything. Can you deliver me from this demon, right? And obviously, as always with praying, sometimes it's not just praying, but also fasting as well, right? So I just got a couple of scriptures. It's just going to be a real quick one as usual. This is John 14:13. And whatsoever you shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. Right? So you got to ask, right? And part of asking is showing humility, that you recognize you can't do this of your own, and that you've got a higher power, right? Hey, because we ain't supposed to be in this, I can do it all on my own spirit. Look, man, hey, the Lord is with us, right? Hey, you think about, if you got a woman, man, she's doing all this Miss Independent shit, you gonna be like, whoa, you know, that ain't gonna be attractive to you, right? And we're the Lord's woman, right? If we're all just trying to say, oh yeah, I can do everything on my own, right? Now you gotta, and the Lord will make you go through some stuff, right, where you're pleading and begging, right? So you learn that you gotta, to put your trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because the times that we're coming into, you ain't gonna be able to do it on your own. You're gonna need that spiritual intervention. So you might as well get used to asking now, right? This is 1 Corinthians 3:7. So it said, then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High that giveth the increase. Right? So, hey, friends, you might be like, look, Lord, I'm lacking faith, or whatever, what have you. You ask the Lord and you pray. Right? But you're gonna have the understanding that it's the Most High that gives the increase, and He will do so in His due time. Right? Lord will do things in His time when He deems fit. I had a precept, but I just lost it. Somewhat related to this, right? But it says, but the Most High give the increase. So once again, anything that you want, you ask the Lord, right? And then when the Lord deems fit, right, then you can get whatever it is that you ask the Lord for, right? In the Lord's abundance, right? But in terms of like studying and faith and understanding, right, you can ask the Lord, but once again, you have to have this understanding that it's only if the Lord wills something to happen, right? It says Luke 18 says, and he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint, right? So then we go on, I'll just get it now, right? It says 1 Thessalonians 5:17, pray without ceasing, right? Which hits straight to the point. Pray without ceasing. So pray always, right? Ask always. Which when you're praying the Lord, for instance, you might hear in them older movies, oh, I beseech you, right? Basically say, hey, or I pray thee. That's saying something. I pray thee. I beg thee, whatever, what have you. Right? We gotta be asking the Lord, praying to the Lord, Lord, Yabashim Yashai, Babakasha, can you protect me on my travels? And that goes for all of us, myself included, right? I pray to the Lord that I pray more, right? So that for instance, and also I give thanks more as well, right? You might ask the Lord, hey, Lord Baba Kasha, can I get to my destination safe? But what I have a habit of doing is then when I get to my destination safe, I don't then say, then what up? Right? Yabashim Yashaf, allow me to, travel to and fro, right, without issue, right? Which is something that I need to work on, right? And Lord Yabashim Yashaf, can I be more grateful, right? So it goes and say, well, I'll start from the top again. It says, and he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint, saying, there was in a city a judge, which feared not the Most High, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of mine adversaries. And he would not for a while. But afterward he said within himself, though I fear not the Most High, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith, and shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? Right? So this is going into basically, we be begging the Lord, saying, Lord, Baba Kasha, bring down this devil, take this man down. But that's part of that praying, that's part of that asking the Lord, Baba Kasha, hasten this day, bring about the end of this man's kingdom, right? But if you notice it says, which cry day and night unto him, right? So even in our spirits, or you might be just walking around, we see something that vexes us in our spirits. We might not even raise you, like, Lord, man, take this place out, right? Why? Because our spirit isn't one with this place, right? Yeah, we go Clark Kent mode, but even in Clark Kent mode, right? You see Clark Kent, Superman when he's in Clark Kent mode. He's still privy to what's going on around him, just like us. We will be Clark Kent mode, and we know we're observing things, we're observing people. We're like, yeah, that man's got a demon on him. We're not saying that out loud, but we're thinking it in our minds. And also, these things that we see that just vexes us, right? So we're supposed to be in the spirit of praying and beseeching the Lord, right? And asking for things, right? You might be at work, and work is just giving you too much stress. Why have you asked the Lord to make it an easier burden for you, right? You might be like, Lord, because can you solve this issue for me, right? Because I go to work. Scripture says money is a defense. However, right, I'm always tired whenever I get back, and I don't feel like I have the energy to what do you call it, to do vids or to do the things that I need to do, right? And then you never know, the Lord might make things easier for you at work. The Lord might give you more energy when you come home. The Lord might take you out of work, right? And that's another thing. When you ask the Lord, you got to understand that the Lord works in ways that we don't understand. Scripture says, my thoughts are not your thoughts, and neither are my ways your ways, right? So we might ask the Lord for something, right? And then the Lord will give you what you requested, right? But in an unorthodox way, in a way that you didn't anticipate, right? But everything is good. Everything that the Lord does is good, even though sometimes, let's be real, you might not see it that way at the time, right? But then after a period of time, you look back and like, yeah, you know what, yeah, Bashim Yashai, but the word up, right? And whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, as the scripture says, and it was Sirach, the 2nd chapter, right? But so one more, another one. This one hits me perfect. This one, sorry, hits home to me, right? Because when I first started working, right, there was a particular adulteress, right, and then she was just on my case, she was on my case. But then through the Spirit, I asked the Lord, Baba Kashar, can you deliver me from this, what do you call, from this adulterous woman, right? Because you're just, what you call, you're fine, you're going away, you're running, you're hiding, whatever, what have you, right? But then one day the Spirit got me. I prayed to the Lord, right? And then basically what happened is then within a week or something, she came and then she was like, "Oh, Luke, I have bad news. Oh, what is it?" And then she was like, "Oh, well, what did this bitch say?" She was like, "Oh, well, I've handed in my notice. I'm going to be leaving." And I basically, I jokingly, but I meant it. I was like, "Yes." Right, and then she was, "Oh, why are you happy?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm just joking," but I wasn't. Right, that was how I was feeling, and that was the Lord, delivering me from that situation. Right now, Lord had it whereby didn't end up leaving completely. She just went down to like 1 or 2 days a week or something like that. But that was still a lot more bearable than the constant onslaught, right, of demonry that this woman had, right? But and the Spirit had it whereby actually afterwards someone else got hired, and then she started pestering him instead, right? Which basically let me free, right? But that's that prayer and that asking for deliverance from certain situations, right? So yeah, don't underestimate the power of prayer. And yeah, till the next time, I'm gonna say shalom.